Hello, Cancer, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm also new here to YouTube, so I would greatly appreciate the likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. For those of you who already subscribed, welcome to the family, and thank you so much for your support. Cancer, I want to do a 2024 prediction reading for you. So it's going to be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What we're going to be looking at is the first 6 months of the new year, so from January to June, and we're going to look at the energy surrounding that for you. We're also going to look at your money, finances, and we're going to see what the energy is around that and some things to look out for. We're also going to do a romance partnership portion of the reading where we're going to look at the energy surrounding relationship for those who are single as well as those who are partners. So just the energy around love and what's coming in for you for 2024. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Once again, this is for Cancer, Cancer Sun, Moon, or Rising. I pulled an overall message for you, Cancer, and it says, the proper rest helps me feel my best. Okay, and so I took some notes. I meditated on that message for a minute, and the energy that was the heaviest is that many of you, as you're coming into the new year, a lot of you may feel just emotionally, spiritually, physically drained. Okay, maybe you had to extend yourself, maybe overextend yourself last year, and so there's going to be an emphasis on the proper rest, relaxation, maybe even creating for yourself like a self-care ritual for 2024. If you started that, continue, right, to do that. Like I said, nutrition, but what I'm feeling the most is that your spiritual and emotional health, okay? So just making sure that you're keeping a balanced cup, okay? You're just bringing an awareness to that and what the things that you're going to need, right? To raise your vibration and to live your, in your highest best self for the year. Okay. So now we're going to look at, and I've shuffled the cards. So I'm just going to pull 6 cards for you from January to June for Cancer. All right. And immediately I see the energy for January talks about not trusting your intuition. And many of you that may relate to this proper rest card, because you may not be either tapping into it, trusting your inner guidance. Maybe you are setting intention for things, but you're not able to, get quiet and still enough to be able to really focus on what it is that you want. So this month, the High Priestess is here talking about inner wisdom and intuition. Cancers are very intuitive, but that may be blocked. So getting that proper rest so that you can be able to hear, your guides, right? Your inner guidance, hear from higher self. All right, tapping into, I'm hearing many of you get messages and things through dreams. Your dream world may be very important for you as you navigate through life. And lately maybe you have not been able to dream, or just something is different. So I would just say, to get that proper rest, and call it in, call in, higher consciousness, call your energy back to you, but make this a practice. Okay. So, cause I'm already seeing that for January, you're not trusting your intuition, your own discernment. Maybe you're getting, information from others and it's just hard for you, or whatever you're seeing outside of your 2 eyes in front of you. Right. But we have to also, the High Priestess talks about inner wisdom, third eye, right? For our mind's eye, right? And we have to trust that and learn how to listen and tap into that, right? Because that's going to be different for you, and others. So as we're, connecting with other people and we're in situations, of course, we value the opinions of others, but we should always be, we're guided and led, or we should be, from our own internal compass. Okay. And that's connected to that inner wisdom and that intuition. All right, so that's what January is going to be all about, you tapping back into that inner wisdom. Okay, so then in February you have the Knight of Cups. All right, water energy, your energy, emotional energy. So Knight of Cups is about empathy. All right, so maybe you're having, it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, not being able to tap into intuition, that empathetic part of you. Maybe some things have happened and it's maybe it's challenging for you to tap back in. If you felt that there were maybe people in your environment that were taking advantage of you, or something happened and now you just feel confused and you don't know which way to go. So it's just going to be you once again getting centered and grounded, getting the proper emotional rest, and so that you can tap into your, because with the Knight of Cups being here, it lets me know that you are empathetic. And as an empathetic being, or an empath, right? Empathic abilities, you sense and feel the emotions of others, and maybe that is becoming overwhelming for you. Okay, I know I love the saying that says, as empaths, we observe, don't absorb, but sometimes that's difficult. But it's very important for you to trust that intuition and discernment, so that you'll know what's for you, what's yours, and what's not. Okay, so February is going to be about that, tapping back into empathy. It's also, there may be an energy of others showing empathy towards you. Okay, so you needing to be open enough to receive that. Okay, so once again, emphasis on self-love, self-care, because once you love and value yourself, right, as others are seeing you as valuable and they're pouring in, you're able to open up and to accept it, right, and to be able to pour back into, if it's a person, them, or a place or thing or whatever. So that's important. Okay, March is going to be all about the Hierophant. Okay, Hierophant energy, Taurus energy. It's also talking about, the Hierophant can speak of higher levels of commitment. It could also speak to your morals, core beliefs, and values. So March is going to be all about you tapping in and understanding from a core beliefs and values, sticking to your integrity, right? So there's a pattern already. For the first 3 months, it's going to be all about you going within, learning to trust yourself again, learning to tap into your intuition and your own discernment, right? You may be also, Hierophant can speak of, like I said, higher levels of commitment. So you may find yourself, if you're in a partnership, this could even be a job, you're finding yourself wanting to step into another role, right? So if it's a job, you want to take a promotion, you're considering higher levels of education. If you're in a partnership, in March, you and your partner may talk about, marriage, right? Or just making the relationship more, you're more serious, you're more committed to one another, right? So that's the energy of the Hierophant, and that's your March energy. All right, so for April, you have the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords is about intellect, okay, your truth, clarity. So things are going to be made clear for you. There's going to be a clarity that's going to come in for April, which is good, because once again, we see in January that there's like things are maybe clouded judgment, not listening to intuition, or understanding how to tap in, just because, like I said, you may be tired, emotionally drained. So once you tap in and you center yourself, ground yourself, pour back in, whatever that looks like for you, that self-care, right? Doing the work. It looks like in April, you're going to feel like you can see things clearly, right? There may be some communication coming in. Maybe if this Hierophant energy that we saw in March, if that is like a job, if you're if you have did some job searching or applied for a job, or maybe a different position at your current job, in in April, it looks like communication may be coming in about that. Okay. Well, overall, it's just talking about things becoming more clear for you. And also you using your intellect, right? Using logic, along with your intuition. Okay. So that looks good for you. And then so let's see, we did January, February, March, April. Then in May, okay, you have the Star card. Okay, Aquarius energy. So the Star card, hope, optimism. So by May, I think you're feeling more hopeful, more optimistic. Okay, so maybe this information, this clarity that you received in April is leading you to feeling more optimistic by May. Okay. So that's just an energy of optimism. Star card can also talk about you being recognized for things that you're doing, kind of like the star of the show, right? Getting that recognition. It can also talk about being divinely guided, right? And listening, right? Trusting that intuition and being divinely guided to hear, from mind's eye, the direction that you need to go in, and trusting that. Okay. So it looks really good. And then in June, you have the Chariot card, which is Cancer energy. Okay. So speaking directly to you, the Cancer talks about things moving forward, motion. You may be traveling in the month of June. You may be relocating. Okay. But overall, the Chariot just talks about things moving the way that they're supposed to, right? In alignment with the things that you have set intention for. All right. So it looks really good. So that's your 6-month prediction energy from January to June. Okay. And overall, it looks good. Make sure you get that proper rest that you need to be able to just feel better emotionally and spiritually, so that you can tap into those things, because it looks like there's a lot of things moving around and coming together for you. So just being able to trust, right, and hear from a higher guidance, so that you'll make the right choices, decisions, right, and it's something that you feel good about. Core beliefs and values with that Hierophant card. And just trusting that. All right, Spirit, what is the energy around money then? Money and abundance, investments for Cancer. All right. Okay. All right. So the first energy, you have the energy of the turtle. Okay, the turtle card energy, which is all about slow and steady process. Slow and steady progress, right? So as far as money, things may be, you may be putting, you have a goal that you have set, and you're working towards that goal. And this energy is just reminding you slow and steady, right? If things are working, they may not all come together, suddenly, right? But slow and steady. And I always say that we want things to be slow and steady, right? Process, trusting the process, right? It's kind of like the birthing process. We want to trust that, the baby is created and it's, it's shaping and forming in the way that it needs to. And we want those 9 months to go on before its birth, right? We want that process to happen. So that things are right. So I kind of look at, things manifesting in that way. We set the intention, right, and let it go and just trust that process. So as far as your money and abundance, things that are coming in for you, there's an emphasis on trusting that process, right? It reminds me of the story, the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady wins the race, right? So that's the energy around, one of the energies, okay, around your money and things coming in for you as it relates to abundance. The second energy, you have the Clover card. Okay. And the Clover talks about, 4-leaf clover, good luck, taking a chance. Okay. So you also may be taking some, like a risk work, and as it relates to business or investments, but it looks good. Okay. And sometimes we have to you know, we do have to take those risks, right? We do have to step out on faith, so to speak. And but you know, being strategic as well, right? Looking at our pros and cons. But sometimes, you know, that's a good thing. So if you're thinking about taking a risk for maybe business, abundance, and investment, it looks good with this 4-leaf clover card. All right. And then the pendulum energy is your last energy. Okay. And it talks about fluctuating income. Okay. So if you find that it's talking about maybe creating a new strategy. So that might be creating a new money mindset going into the new year, or as we're entering into the, you know, we're here now, but, you know, beginning of the year. So we're maybe creating a new money strategy, setting, you know, goals from maybe looking at, you know, taking an assessment of some things that you did last year in 2023 and how you can make them better, right? More efficient for 2024. Okay. Making better choices. It also talks about maybe changing jobs or taking a second job. Okay. And just going with the flow, right? Because the pendulum, it's either going to swing, you know, so understanding the ebb and flow, right? And flowing with it, but being strategic to be prepared, right? Prepared for those different swings and in income, those fluctuations. Okay. So that looks really good for you. Overall, it looks really good. All right, Cancer. So this portion of the reading is going to be, I'm going to tap in first and look at the Cancers who are single and the energy around love and romance and partnership. Excuse me. All right. So we're going to look at that. So the overall energy for my Cancers who are single. Wow. You have the High Priestess again. All right. So as your overall energy for love and romance and things coming, it's the energy of the High Priestess. Okay. So once again, trusting your intuition, okay, is going to be very important for you. For 2024 as it relates to just life in general, right? Wherever you are on your life path. And then as it relates to love and partnership, the same thing. The High Priestess is talking about, once again, discernment, confidence, right? Spirituality. Maybe you're wanting to connect to partners who you're looking for a spiritual partner, right? Your a spiritual connection, deeper connections, as it relates to what I'm feeling as it relates to partnerships of all kinds, right? We're doing a love portion of the reading, but it can also just talk about just overall you wanted to work with and partner with like-minded souls, okay? On a spiritual level. So that's the energy around that. Using discernment from, you know, inner wisdom, remember. So if you were in relationships in the past and they didn't work out for you, really going within, what can I do different? What have I learned, right? Because I don't like to look at anything as a failure, right? Things happen for a reason, a lesson learned, and we move on. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's pull 3 more cards for you, Cancer. All right. So, and this is the energy that I was feeling. Your first card says it's not enough. Okay. So, and it's the energy talks about being frustrated in a relationship, lacking confidence, like some attached to fears, right? So definitely I could be speaking to some Cancers who have come out of a relationship that didn't work, or in the past things just, you know, maybe several relationships or things just not working in your favor, and maybe you are frustrated. And I think that the intuition card is just asking you to go within, you know, your guides and your spirit team is just saying, you know, go within, use that inner wisdom, use what you now know, right? And stand on that, right? And especially for those of you who now you see it as a lesson and you've done the work, you've done the healing work. If you have not, then let's start the process, right? Because we're trusting that process in 2024. and you know, and doing the work, right? Self-care. Remember, that was the overall message. Your second energy talks about love. Okay, so it talks about unconditional love, self-love, and oneness, and that's what I was feeling up for a lot of you. It's about tapping back in and loving you, pouring into you, and being okay. Maybe if you're in a season, understanding, you know, if you're in a season of singleness, right? You're single. You're not partnered with anyone. Just embracing and loving you and where you are, right? Pouring back into you, nurturing your spirit and those things that make you happy, right? So that if and when that person comes, you know, you're giving from a cup that's overflowing. That to me, that is so important. All right, and then the last card you have is Twin Flames. Okay, so it's talking about, you know, possibly meeting that spiritual partner or that person that complements you. All right. It can't, I don't really read these cards in the reverse, but it did come out in the reverse. So if there is a blockage here, I would just say to make sure that you are listening once again to intuition, and you don't have a desperate energy around wanting to be in a partnership, and you're not listening to intuition, right? To wisdom that says, okay, we've been here before. This is a red flag. Let's listen to this. Let's move differently. Let's not do the same thing expecting a different result. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling with that energy. All right, so that's for my Cancers who are single. All right, so, and last but not least, we're going to look at my Cancers who are in a partnership, and we're going to look at the energy surrounding your relationship. We've covered a lot in this reading, but I hope that you found it helpful. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. That way I can tap in a little deeper to connect to your energy, right? All right, so let's see for my Cancers that are partnered. All right. All right, beautiful. You have the Empress card. All right. So for those who are the Cancers who I'm speaking with, that this message resonates with, who are partnered, your relationship is growing. Someone may even be pregnant, or you may be thinking about, you know, getting pregnant, bringing life into the world, right? So Empress could be male or female, right? It's just an energy, but the Empress is all about growth. It's all about harmony and things coming together, and they're stable. The foundation is stable. So as this relates to a relationship, it looks really good. Your relationship is stable. It's growing. It's very fruitful. Okay. And many of you may find yourself, you know, having you may be getting ready to conceive. All right. If not, it's just talking about just growth, right? Growth and process, and trusting that process with your partner. Okay, so let's see what else you have. All right, and so the first energy is talking about the coffee cup. All right, so this energy always reminds me of like communication, right? Just so if it's with your partner, you are getting on the same page energetically, but also having those conversations, those meaningful conversations about core beliefs and values, and how they line up with one another as you move forward and as you continue to grow. All right. And continue that. Communication is very important. Healing heart energy, lets me know that you may be in a connection where you feel you are learning each other, and you're providing healing energy for each other, right? It's reciprocal energy, and that looks really good. So you're healing from something. It talks about also addictions or things that could be toxic. So if you are in a partnership, to me, with the Empress card being here, it looks like you're moving past those things. Someone may be maybe coming out of or in recovery, right? From addiction. It doesn't necessarily it could be substance abuse, but it could also just be toxic behavioral patterns. And so you and your partner have recognized it, and you're taking control of your life individually, and then how that, to make it better for, the team, the growth, right? For the union and growing into, with this Empress card being here, what's going to be best for the both of you. The last energy that you have here is girl with a snake. Okay, so all right, and so this may or may not resonate with you all, but the energy with the girl with the snake is talking about the empath and narcissist paradigm. Okay, which talks about basically, because we remember we saw that we saw the energy of the empath. We also saw the energy of with that Knight of Cups. We also saw High Priestess was here twice. So once again, listening to your intuition. I hope this is not the case, but some of you may be in a partnership that you're questioning, am I in a healthy relationship with my partner? So hopefully you're not in a narcissistic relationship. Hopefully you're not the one, being that way. But it's talked about being charmed and used, and being able to set healthy boundaries or get out of that situation. Okay, so if I'm speaking to someone who maybe that's the issue, you haven't listened to intuition, you don't know which way to go, but you do feel like you don't know what decision to make in your relationship, but you do feel used, you feel taken advantage of. With this Empress card being here, it's reminding you to remember who you are, right? Trust your core beliefs and values. Trust that you deserve greater, right? And to not be in a situation like that, and that you deserve more. Okay? So I hope that this message inspired you. I hope that it was helpful for you. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how I can, any improvements. Give me any suggestions you have on, readings that I can do for you in the future. And once again, it was just beautiful and amazing to connect with you, Cancer. And I'll see you next time. Peace, love, and light.